Yesterday, Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger delivered what is likely to be his final speech in the House of Representatives before leaving at the end of this term. Kinzinger, of course, has been a very avid spokesperson for the anti-Trump movement within the Republican Party, and in his farewell address, he did not hold back in criticizing his own party for what they have become today, largely, as he points out, because of Donald Trump. Here is a snippet of what Kinzinger had to say. In the wake of the tragic Oklahoma City bombing, former President George H.W. Bush publicly refuted those who used fear to gain support. In stark contrast today, our leaders belittle and in some cases justify attacks on the U.S. Capitol as legitimate political discourse. The once great party of Lincoln, Roosevelt, and Reagan has turned its back on the ideals of liberty and self-governance. Instead, it has embraced lies and deceit. The Republican Party used to believe in a big tent. Now, we shelter the ignorant, the racist, who only stoke anger and hatred. Most of what you said is 100% correct. And I think it's also worth pointing out that Adam Kinzinger still voted the majority of the time with Republicans, even as he was an avid anti-Trump Republican. So Kinzinger's not a good guy. Let's not lift him up as a hero. Not to mention, as I said, only most of what he said there is accurate. Oh, after the Oklahoma City bombing, Republican president told us, don't use fear to gain support. That's a wise message. But that was President George H.W. Bush. Then what did his son George W. Bush do, Adam? Do you not remember that? Do you only remember what happened under Trump and then what happened with H.W. Bush and beyond? Because the Bush administration 100% used fear, the fear of a terrorist attack, the fear of the others over there in the Middle East, to win the 2004 election. So don't act like that's something that's brand new with the party. By God, it's been your policy as Republicans for 20 friggin' years. This didn't happen with Trump. He didn't create that. He just evolved it. Instead of hating terrorists, pretty much anybody from the Middle East is what the Bush administration wanted you to hate. Donald Trump switched it to immigrants. So there's really no difference. So don't act like until Trump came along, Republicans didn't use fear. Because fear was the central focus of the 2004 election, the 2008 election, all of it. Bush ran on it and McCain ran on it. And of course, Trump ran on it with the hatred and fear of immigrants. And you threw Reagan in the list too. Reagan, wow, really? Do you not remember Iran-Contra? I mean, that was a pretty big scandal. Do you not recall that Reagan actually helped arm these militants in the Middle East that included Osama bin Laden, who then went on to do 9/11, which then, of course, caused the Bush administration to use fear to win the next election? I mean, all of this is connected. You just can't connect those dots because you're blinded by your hatred of Donald J. Trump. It didn't start with Trump. It's not going to end with Trump. Reagan was pretty damn good at perpetuating the hatred and fear, not to mention his ridiculous economic policies. You got a couple others you mentioned there. Roosevelt, obviously awesome. Lincoln, wonderful president. But you have to go back 100 years before you can actually get to a decent Republican president. And you're just glossing over all the horrible things that happened in modern times because you want to hate on Donald Trump. It's true your party's gotten worse. You do shelter the racist. You do shelter the ignorant. You're right about that. But it didn't start with Trump. It's not going to end with Trump. And you're still looking at the whole thing with your blinders on, ignoring the atrocities from the GOP that we saw in the 18 years before Trump even came along in this century. 15 years. Either way, you're ignoring a significant part of Republicans' recent history because it doesn't suit your narrative. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.